Hi everybody, this is Maya Good, aka Quotidian Light, and I'm going to do a what's in my bag video. I've made a lot of changes in this travel and I've gotten rid of a lot of stuff, and I just want to show you what I've got left. So the first thing I want to talk about is my bag. I did a first impressions of my bag when I got it, and I will be doing an in-depth review when I'm all done with this trip. I have the Hero Journey backpack from Tom Bin. That is the main pack, and that is the top pack. The top pack actually zips to the top of the main pack so that it works really well as a backpack. But then while I'm wandering around town or whatever, I can use this either in like a briefcase mode, or I can turn it wrong side out and it turns into a little tiny backpack. The blue is my tent. I have a Locust Gear tent. I have the Khufu tent, and I do have the Khufu mosquito inner. I love this tent. This is literally my entire tent, and it's under 2 pounds, well under 2 pounds. I have a Thermarest Max Neo Air Max. The only thing is, it is really big. It's like 1 pound, 1 ounce. And periodically I think about going down and getting a smaller, like the Neo Air, and like the half that only goes to really your knees. You really don't need it for your feet. But the Max has a lot more R value, and I get really, really cold at night. So I do really love this. Right here is my stuff sack for my sleeping bag. My sleeping bag is not a normal sleeping bag. It is a sleeping bag quilt, so it zips completely open like a quilt, which is great if I'm in a hostel and it's cold and I can use it like a blanket, or I can zip the bottom part and then kind of strap it to my sleeping bag mat, and it's a full sleeping bag. So I love that. I have one pair of shoes besides my shoes that I have on my feet. The shoes I have on my feet are Luna sandals. I talked to you guys about those before. I have a review on them. The only thing is, when I'm walking for a really long time with my full pack, after a few miles, my feet do start to ache. I am heavy for my joints, and so, you know, during those times I go ahead and I use my hiking boots. Once I finish losing the weight, I will probably ditch my hiking boots and get a second pair of minimalist shoes. But I love my hiking boots. The only reason why I would ditch them is because most of the time I'm wearing my sandals, and when I have these strapped to my backpack, they are heavy. They're lightweight, but they're still a good pound, and they are the Sportiva Synthesis Mids. I love these. I tried on every pair of hiking boots in REI, and all of them have a really built up heel. And since I wear minimalist shoes all the time, they hurt my feet. They aggravate my Martens Maroma. These ones look like they have a built up heel, but on the inside, they have a very low rise. They're almost neutral, but they're not quite, but they're almost. So I can wear these with no problem at all. So over here is the rest of my stuff, and I'm going to try to take it spread all out. So I am going to take this in sections. First, let's start with what I'm wearing right now. I am wearing a Prana tank top, and I will include links in the down bar of everything that I can find. And if I can find an affiliate link, I will use that, so that if you want to help me, you can. If you don't, you don't want to, that's fine too. So the tank is a Prana tank. I like this because it looks really cute on the outside. It has like this over tank, and then underneath, instead of a shelf bra, I don't like shelf bras. They tend to like get itchy right around here. Instead of that, the inside tank is really, really snug. So as long as I'm not doing sports, I can get away with this without a bra, which I really appreciate because it kind of works like a bra. And then I have this skirt. This is a Royal Robbins. It's not the Discovery Trekker. It's the one that's long in the back and short in the front. I love the functionality of the skirt. It dries super, super fast. It is really comfortable. I can wear it when I'm backpacking with no problem whatsoever. The pocket is convenient because the shirt I have only has one pocket, and so between the two of them, I can get out of the house without carrying a purse. So that's really nice for traveling, I'm finding. I like to just be able to stick everything in my pockets and leave. On this part of the bed are my clothes. So the first things first, I have one pair of socks. These are the Injinji socks. I love Injinji socks. I've always loved Injinji socks. These are not my favorite Injinji socks. They are a bit long. I got them long because I figured for hiking it would be good to keep mosquitoes out. And it served its purpose for that. It was great on the beach because I could tuck my pants into my socks and I didn't have any issues with sandflies on my ankles or anything. But, you know, I find them a little itchy on top, and I love these and I love wool socks, but I'm not really stoked about the material on these particular ones. Toe socks. So I can wear these with my sandals. I can wear these with my boots. If I'm wearing them with my boots and I get hot and sweaty because I'm walking a really long way, I don't get blisters because my toes are not rubbing against each other. Then I have 4 of these, one's in my pocket. These are old-fashioned handkerchiefs because I have allergies and I blow my nose. And this is my Discovery towel. It is not like most travel towels. Instead of being like a tacky texture, this feels like it's like a knit, like really, really soft. Let me see if I can get up there so you can see. It's a knit and it feels kind of silky. I love it for travel, but me and my son both have these for our hair. These do not leave lint in your dreadlocks. Heads up for all the dreadlock people on my channel. So next I'm going to go over my pants. I did a first impressions of these pants. I love these pants. In the field, they're even better than when I did my first impressions and was so surprised at how well they fit. They're comfortable. I wear them more than anything else. I've pretty much mostly just worn these. And every once in a while I get a little too hot and then I pop on my skirt. I did have a pair of yoga pants. I got rid of my yoga pants. I love my yoga pants, but I got rid of them for a couple reasons. The first reason is they ride down a little bit when you're backpacking. When you have your backpack on, yoga pants tend to slide down. Plus I was losing weight, so they slid down even more, but they tend to slide down anyway because of the waist belt. Second, even though they are a nice material and they're the correct length, when you're hitchhiking, they get a lot of dust and dirt around the ankles. They catch on everything. Not great. Lastly, they take way too long to dry. They're comfortable. I was using them for like sleeping in hostels and stuff, but when I would wash them, I would have to dry them. I could never just hang them up to dry. And if I hung them up to dry, they would take like 2.5, 3 days to dry. So there's my pants. These are the cool pants. These are the cool roll-up splash pants, and I actually plan on getting a second pair of cool pants. This is a Prana t-shirt. It is the most comfortable t-shirt I've ever worn and completely impractical for travel. I'm really bummed. I'm gonna have to take this back to REI. I've been wearing this for only 2 weeks and it already has 3 snags and 2 rubbed areas, which is really a bummer. But if it weren't for the fact that I was traveling by backpacking, like if I was taking taking airplanes, I think this shirt would be amazing for travel. It is transparent. It is a little transparent, but dark bra, you're good. You know, I have a neutral bra, so it's no big deal. Finding that hitchhiking gear, you know, and clothes to wear for hitchhiking, you can't just wear regular clothes. You really do need to get like backpacking clothes because it needs to be durable. I have my Elaine Fisher shirt that I got from ThreadUp used. I love this shirt. It is great for travel because it dries really, really fast. It is silk, but it is silk knit, so I can wash it. I can hand wash it and it doesn't get all messed up, but I ruined it. I'm still wearing it, and someday I will replace it, but I ruined it. The first thing I did with this shirt after I wore it a couple days, I put it in a bucket with water with my scarf. My scarf bled all over it. So I worked and worked and worked to get the bleed out of it. And I managed to get most of it out so it's wearable, but it did affect the texture somewhat, and it still does have that stain in it. So while I love this shirt, it was going to be my dressy shirt. It is no longer my dressy shirt. Now this shirt is Patagonia. Love this shirt. Pills like crazy. I've only had it I got it in Austin. It really, really pills like crazy. It wouldn't matter if I was traveling or not, it would still pill. But it looks good and it's comfortable. It's really, really lightweight. It is a mixture of cotton and linen. This shirt, it's longer, it's flattering, it's loose. I'm finding I really, really like linen because it's breathable and it's cool, but then when it's cold, you do have a little bit of warmth. It's a little bit like wool in that respect. And so the pilling I'm talking about, it isn't the kind of pilling that's like obnoxious. You know, it's like that. It's not big pills, so you can't like shave it off like you can with some stuff when it pills. You know, it has a little bit of texture. And it definitely is pilling texture, but because it's linen, it just gives the shirt more character. It just looks a little nicer. Okay, I have 1 bra and 3 pairs of underwear. I'm wearing 1 pair. My underwear are bamboo underwear. I hate them. They fit really well, but I really prefer merino wool underwear, but it's the only one company makes them in my size, and they do not last very long. So once I'm another size down, I will be trading out my 3 pair of bamboo underwear for merino wool underwear. I have one bra, it's underwire. I will be getting rid of this and going to a non-underwire bra. I have my old swimsuit. I hate my swimsuit, but it works. So this is another Elaine Fisher shirt that I got from thredUP. It is a cardigan. It is linen. I was thinking that this was just going to be like for special occasions. Oh, like I said, I'm falling in love with linen. I picked up this Patagonia yoga jacket, right? It's, I figured it would make a good mid layer for when it's chilly, but it's not really cold. It gives me like no warmth at all. I actually find that this linen cardigan is warmer than this. So I will be getting rid of this and replacing it with a fleece. I want something that's super lightweight, so it's not too warm, but it gives me a little bit of warmth for those times when it's cold, but it's not cold enough for my puffy jacket. And this just doesn't quite give me what I want. But this, amazing. That said, you know, part of me wants to keep this for those times when I'm exercising or if I'm meditating. This would be great if you're running. It does have a little bit of warmth, but it's just really breathable for exercise. It's made for doing yoga when it's slightly cold, and it's stretchy and it's comfortable and it's soft and it has thumb holes. So part of me wants to keep it for that, but yeah, it just doesn't work for me as a mid layer. Great, great jacket though, Patagonia. This I got when I got my Luna sandals. It's like a buff, but it's made by Luna and it has their thing on it. I use it all the time. I use it in my hair. I use it to tie my hair back. I use it to make a ponytail. So let me see. Oh, this is a shirt that I got off thredUP. This is actually like a little sweater by Gant. It is a great sweater. It is super, super soft and comfortable. I do not wear this when I'm backpacking, but when I'm someplace and I want to look nice, this is what I would wear. This is my Royal Robins shirt. It looks like a button down, but it's a snap down, and the snaps are really, really big and robust. It is a very cool shirt. It's made for really, really hot environments. I think it's SPF like 50. It definitely did its job. I only got burnt on my arms when I was wearing my t-shirt. I do plan on getting another one. It comes really, really clean. Every single time I spill coffee on it, coffee came out. Every time I spill something on it, it comes out with a little bit of soap and just rubbing it with my hand, and it eventually comes out. It's just such a good quality shirt. It was really expensive. It was like $70, but it was totally worth it. It's completely holding up to the amount of abuse I'm giving it. And I feel very comfortable in getting a second shirt from them now because I see just how well it's designed. It has a pocket on its hip, which nobody expects a tiny little zip pocket on the hip, so that it's big enough to fit my wallet. It's probably big enough for a passport, actually. And the sleeves are 3/4 sleeve, and they roll up with a little strap. I feel a little Lawrence of Arabia in it, but as long as I don't have khaki pants, it's all good. It looks good tucked in. It looks good left out. It is just a great little dressy kind of shirt with princess seams. So, I mean, it makes me feel a little civilized out there in the world. I wore it a lot when I was actually on the road with my thumb out because, A, it's really comfortable in the heat and it was really hot. But also, if you look a little nicer, people don't think, oh my God, that's a scary person hitchhiking. They're like, oh, that person's in a button up and have a nice pair of pants and they have a backpack. Let's talk to them. So next I'm going to go over my jackets. They both fold down into these pouches. This is a stuff sack that it came with, and this, it folds into its front pocket. So what I'm going to do is open them up and let you see the jackets. Okay, so these are my 2 jackets. I got these from Patagonia, and they were expensive, but I got them with huge discounts. So I'm really, really happy with these jackets. I cannot recommend them enough. So the first one is my puppy jacket. They do make a jacket that is even smaller. You saw how big it packed down. It packed down to, you know, about the size of my tent. It doesn't pack down super, super tiny. They make a nano puff jacket. I do not wear that because I am backpacking, and this has a slightly different material on the shoulders that when I put my backpack on that, it can withstand it. It is not so delicate that my jacket is going to tear like the minute I wear it with my backpack. It has proven to be a great jacket. It's rugged. I haven't had a whole lot of shedding of the down. It is a down jacket. It folds down really nicely. It works great when I sleep in it at night on the beach. When you are hitchhiking, you are harder on your gear than just a regular traveling. You know, you are really, really hard on your stuff. And this has been, you know, it looks brand new. The second one that I love is my rain jacket. They make several different rain jackets. This is the one that's kind of stretchy. I was worried about that. I went into the store. I vacillated back and forth. It was so lightweight that I kept going back to it, and it fit perfectly. But it was kind of stretchy, and I was worried about whether or not it would keep me dry. Totally keeps me dry. It folds into its little chest pocket. It has two side pockets. The side pockets keep everything dry, so I can put my cell phone in there and I don't worry about it. This was a big deal because in Florida, I kept getting caught in storms. So I really, really recommend both of these jackets. I could not be happier with my purchase. They were absolutely worth every dime. And even without the discount, they would have been worth every dime. Now for electronics. I got rid of most of my electronics, and this is important. I came out here with an external recorder and a lavalier mic for doing my podcast. I had a hard drive. I had a battery charger, external charger, which didn't work, so I need to get a different one. And what I've got now, I have my computer, I have my charger, I have my Logitech. I think this is a 920, but it might be 930. I will put it in the down bar. It's great. It has a great mic on it. I use this a lot for work. I use this a lot for recording the podcast, for recording Literary Roadhouse. So there's that. I have my phone. That is what I'm currently making this video on. I need to get an external camera. I need to get a good camera is what I'm saying. But for recording, because I got rid of my external recorder, my lavalier mic, I now use the Smart Lav Plus by Rode. Now I have my flute. You guys see my flute? I love my flute. Picked that up on the road. I have a Tom Bin cache that I use to keep my computer in, which I love. And I have my trekking poles. This set of trekking poles I love. You guys remember I bought a pair from Locust Gear. I loved them. They were too long to fit inside my pack. These are Lecky Micro. I did not get carbon fiber. I wanted them to bend instead of break in the field because my tent uses trekking poles, and I can still set up my tent with a crooked trekking pole. I can't set my tent up with a trekking pole that's in half. The next piece of camping gear I have is my little stove. This is a wood stove. I can cook with wood, with sticks, with leaves, whatever. I love this thing because it's really lightweight. It's made out of titanium, and it literally fits in a sandwich bag. I also, for camping, I have my tent stakes. Let me see if it has the name on. Groundhog stakes. That's what they are. Groundhog stakes. They're really lightweight and they work really, really good. But I have a lot of stakes for my tent, and they add up as far as weight. So I'm thinking I will keep these for like the four corners and two of the extra reinforcements, and then get really, really tiny, smaller stakes, titanium stakes for the other ones to kind of save some weight. I have my planner, which I use for work. I have my tarot cards. I have stick sunscreen for my tattoo. And the reason why I won't get on a plane, amongst other reasons, is this is the handiest thing that I've ever bought. I have used this every single day. It is my Swiss Army knife. It is an awesome knife. It's only missing two tools to be like ideal for me. This is my laundry bag. I love it. It's really, really sturdy. I toss it in the laundry with my clothes. And it gets it all, you know, I don't wash it with my clothes in it. Obviously, I dump the clothes in the washer and then I wash it. And as I'm backpacking or whatever, I put whatever's dirty in here, and it keeps my pack from smelling like dirty clothes. Excellent, excellent item. I have my selfie stick. I have my pen. You guys actually know my pen, my review for my fountain pen is on my other channel. I will include that link. I have emergency matches. And then I have a Firestarter. I have a Sawyer Squeeze system. I eventually want to get a a light purifier, but this is working fine. I use it a lot. I use it even for tap water in some places where the tap water doesn't taste very good. This is a stuff sack that came with my Locust Gear tent, the inner, and I use it to wrap up my Logitech camera. So next, I do have one more piece of electronics I forgot. I have my Kindle, my water bottle. I had to let go of my most precious, most wonderful water bottle because it was too heavy to carry in my pack. And this is what I've been using, and it works fine. So let's do some toiletries. Well, before we get to toiletries, here is my packing cube, and it has my one scarf. It's a long, skinny scarf. I use it in my hair. So let's get that out of the way. Okay, so these are my toiletries. I'm going to go over them really quick. I have my toiletry bag here. I did a review on this bag. I still love it. It's amazing. I had a mishap with it. I put my razor in there with the razor blade still in it, and I sliced it open, but the same patches I use on my tent worked great, and so it's still working great. So here we go. First, I have my makeup brushes. I haven't really been wearing makeup very often, but if I go someplace special, I want to be able to wear it if I want to. I've narrowed it down to just these brushes. I have a fluffy brush that I use for powder and for blush and highlighter and stuff like that. I have an eyebrow brush, foundation brush. I use my fingers to do my Vapour foundation, and then I use this just to make sure it's even. I have like a detailed pencil brush for eyeshadow. I have a big fluffy pencil brush for blending. I have the brush part of an old liquid eyeliner for liquid eyeliner. And then I have two brushes for eyeshadow, one for packing color everywhere, and the other one is a crease blending brush. Those are the only makeup brushes I have. I have bag balm. I use it for everything. This is the only thing I found that works for like mosquito bites too, by the way. I use it on my feet. I use it on mosquito bites. My feet were in a really bad condition because of the Minimalist sandals, and this took care of it. Floss. Toothbrush. I use tooth powder instead of toothpaste. It packs easier. I picked this up in Florida. It's Clear Face Breakout Free Sunscreen. Broke me out. So I'm using it on my arms and stuff. It works fine for that. I have a little bit of laundry soap, and I just refill that wherever I'm at. It works fine. I have a foot scraper, and I actually do need this because wearing minimalist sandals and being in sandals all the time, it's really hard. It takes work to keep your feet not looking completely nasty, and so I use this, and then when I get someplace nice, I'll get like a really cheap like file, and then I'll file my feet every once in a while. This is the best chapstick I've ever used. It's sweetbay soaps, and it is really good, and the cap broke, but usually chapstick makes my lips peel, and this doesn't. It doesn't have anything I'm allergic to, and it works. It's so moisturizing. It's a really, really good chapstick. I use crystal deodorant. I just make sure my underarms are clean before I use it, and then I rub for a while, and it works great. I don't keep the cap for two reasons. One, the cap is heavy. Two, if you keep it capped all the time, if you happen to use it when your underarms aren't completely clean, your crystal can start to stink. So I leave it capped free, and that way it always has a chance to completely dry out, and it's lighter weight. I have some Dr. Bronner's soap. You guys know I used to be allergic to it. The new formulation of the peppermint soap with the hemp oil in it does not seem to bother me, so I've been using it, and it's been great. I hate it in my hair. It leaves a film in my hair. It does not get my hair clean, but it's been working really great for my body. I had got rid of my perfume. My perfume was heavy, and I love my perfume, and then I put it in a roller ball, and the smell changed, and I did not like how the smell changed. So I've been using Chakra Balancing Aromatherapy. It does not last very long, though. I found a company that makes oil perfume versions of perfumes, and so I'm going to get an oil version of my favorite perfume, and it will be about the same size. There's my EpiPen, because, well, nuts happen. So now let's get into this. First, I have these 4 little jars at the bottom. This last jar has the blades for my foot scraper in it. This jar has Pacifica face cream, and I hate it. It's really, really stinky, and sometimes when I put it on, it kind of stings a little bit. It's natural, it works, so I've been using it, but it's not my favorite face cream on the planet. This is my Tatcha face powder that I use to exfoliate, and I didn't think I was going to use it for traveling. I'm realizing that I'm going to use it more for traveling than I did at home. It's really good when traveling, and it's powder, easy to carry. This is a ginseng face mask, and I don't use it very often. It's pate something ginseng. I'll put the link in the down bar, but it is an amazing face mask, and it's really good when you're traveling. Just have a way to pamper yourself every once in a while, so I keep that with me. And then here is my file. I use a glass file, and it just slides right there. Works out well. So the two bottom pockets are my makeup pockets. That's what's ended up happening over time. Like I said, I love this bag. My mirror's all scraped up, though. I do want to replace this mirror, but the bag itself is amazing. So I have Cake Mascara, which I love. It's great for travel. It's not a liquid if you're getting on a plane. It works good for eyeliner. It works really good for eyelashes. A lot of people say it doesn't work great for eyelashes. I'll do a video on how to use it. My mom used to use Cake Mascara. It's a different technique than regular mascara. If you try to use this like regular mascara, it'll just make your eyelashes darker. But if you know how to use it, you can get anywhere from like a really natural look to like a really built up dramatic look. I even, if my brush is really, really dry, just barely damp, I'll even use this for my eyebrows even though it's black, and it works fine. They make one in brown too, and I would like to pick up the brown one because I actually do like brown eyeliner, and the brown would be better for my eyebrows. There's a lot of product in here, which is the other reason why I really like it. It travels really, really well. I have my powder. I hate this powder, but I use it to set my makeup. I don't like the powder because it makes my face greasy, but it works, and I have it, and it's organic and doesn't hurt the environment, so I'm going to use it. My foundation, my Vapour foundation, did a video on that. My Vapour concealer, did a video on that. An eyelash curler, and that's everything in that pocket. On this pocket, you guys know I use a traditional razor. So there's my razor, and I have razor blades, and then I have the rest of my makeup on the side. So I have super, super tiny tweezers. Once I get replacement tweezers for my pocket knife, I will just go ahead and get rid of these. I have a lipstick. I had two Burt's Bees lipsticks, and I got rid of them because they kept smearing everywhere. I kept getting them on my clothes. I love the lipstick, but and I was going to do a review on it. I loved it so much, but I was constantly getting it like on my hands and on my clothes. It just wasn't a great lipstick. It moves around too much. This is a Gabriel lipstick. It's great. I wanted to test it out. I'm still looking for a Holy Grail red that is natural. But this is great for summer. It's a really pretty, like, corally pink color. And I've never worn a corally pink color. And I got it on a whim, and it works really good. I like it. I will do a review on that later if you guys want. So just tell me in the down bar if you're interested. I have clear eyes. I don't use this for my eyes. I actually use this for my mascara, because that way I know that everything that I'm putting on my eyes is constantly sterile. So I just put a drop on that instead of using like tap water or something. I have the other pendant that goes to my necklace. I have a pair of fingernail clippers. And then I have samples of makeup samples. So this was a concealer that I wanted to test out. So I have a sample of it. It ended up being really good for travel. Because I'm going to travel long term, I was looking for something that packs small, and the full-size version of this actually is a very, very tiny little container too. So so far I like it. I will do a review on it. I'm still learning how to use it. It can look a little dry, so that's the thing that keeps me from just going out and buying one. I'm still trying to figure out how to use it best. This, I had a MAC paint pot that I love, and MAC paint pots, the jars are super heavy. So I just depotted it into this. Once I use it up, I will get an organic green version of an eyeshadow, but that's my eyeshadow. I got a sample of the Cure Wise Blush in Lovely, and I love this. So I will be getting a full size later, but this is the blush I've been using. These are my primers. I have hardly been wearing makeup, so I'm still using up my samples. I love them both. The more I've used the stick primer, the more I like it. I did a video comparing the two, and I love the liquid more. I still love the liquid more, but the more I'm using the stick, the more I'm thinking I will go ahead and get the stick, just because the form factor will be better for travel. And the more I'm using it, the more I like it. But these primers are both amazing primers, and the liquid especially is just fantastic. And then I have a tint oil from Vapour Cosmetics. I love this. I hate the packaging. This is one of those ones where you open it up and it's got the brush and then you have to twist the bottom. And I feel like I'm constantly wasting product and I don't feel like I have as much control. I would much prefer it be in like a little container with like a dip wand. But it is what it is. But it's a really good product. No allergies to it. I put it on. It's moisturizing. I love it. And that's all my makeup. Yeah, I know, right? I told you I've been minimizing. So let's go to the top. It's been crazy how much I've gotten rid of. So the top, I still have my foot brush, fingernail brush. Use this all the time. All the time. I use it more traveling than I did at home because your fingernails and your toenails get really dirty, and it's great for cleaning your heels, like if you've been on the beach or whatever. So yeah. This is my face wash. Love this. I still love it, and I'm still getting more because I'm running out. It twists up like a stick, and then you just put a little bit on your face when your face is damp, and then you just rub your face, and your face gets clean. My sunscreen. If I had been using this, I wouldn't have gotten burnt. I don't know what I was thinking. I know what I was thinking. I got the other sunscreen because this is not waterproof, but this is a much better sunscreen. This is a Shiseido sunscreen from Japan, and I get it on Amazon, and it's great for anti-aging. It has a really, really high PA value on it, in addition to having a good anti-burning value. So yeah, great sunscreen. Love it. And it also works really good as a primer. This is my face essence. I'm running out. I need to get more, and when I get more, it comes, I mean, the smallest jar you can buy is like 5 ounces. And so I would like to see if I can somehow get a hold of sample bottles, because it'd be nice to keep smaller bottles when you're traveling. But I've been putting it in a spray bottle and just spraying it into my hand and patting it on my face that way for travel, and that seems to work really fine. And then I have a face mask because I love my face mask. It's an SK2 face mask, and I've been saving it for a moment when I just feel horrible and I finally take a bath and I'm like pampering myself, and then I'll use my face mask. But I like to keep one in there. I depotted my face oil into this. I use I'm trying to remember. It's not Drunk Elephant. I'll put it down below. I use a face oil that comes in a really heavy jar, and so I went into a health food store and I picked up this jar. It holds 1 ounce. And it's much lighter weight, and so I can get any brand of face oil. Most face oils come in 1 ounces, and just pour it in here, and it just travels much better. It was like a big square glass jar, and it was super, super heavy. My scalp medicine, so that I don't have my scalp hating me. And then this is the cover for my menstrual cup. Okay, so now I have my first aid kit. I do keep a first aid kit. On here is a tick key. I've never had a tick, but I'm scared to death of them, so I keep it. I have pain reliever in a tube, and it's mostly just Band-Aids. Yeah. I've got Band-Aids. I've got alcohol swabs. I have stuff for blisters. I've got these things, which I love. It's Tagaderm film for cuts and scrapes, but also they're great for tattoos. You know, just the typical stuff. A lot of allergies medicine in there. And so that's my first aid kit. And it's tiny. I like it tiny. I have my compass, birth certificate, and my journal. I need to get a traveler's notebook. I was testing out this size notebook, and I'm realizing this is the correct size for me, so I want to go with a standard size traveler's notebook. And I don't want one of the newer versions that are like really thick leather. I want something that still feels really floppy and lightweight. There's a couple that I'm looking at. I could get like a regular traveler's notebook, but there's a lady that makes them that has like a pocket on the outside, and they're really floppy. She also makes them in a B6 slim size. Rowena, I think her name is. I want to get one of her standard size ones, but I just can't do it yet. I have my sunglasses. These were invaluable. Oh my God. Yeah, you need sunglasses. I got these when I was back bartending. Somebody left these at my bar and they never picked them up, and so I got to keep them. So here are my souvenirs. I have 3 shells. 3 little seashells. They're so pretty. I love them. Look how tiny this one is. It's got another shell inside of it. It's like a super, super tiny version of like that kind of shell. And then I got 2 polka dot shells. So this is my knitting kit. It is a tiny Tom bin. The top folds down and it sits up. Oh, it's a travel tray. It's a travel tray. I use it for my knitting. I have a sock in there that I'm knitting, and then I only kept 2 sets of sock knitting needles and 1 circular, and the needle in order to Kitchener the toe, and a couple cable needles, and that's it. Like, that's all the knitting I have with me. I got rid of everything else. I just gave it away. Little old lady at Starbucks loved me. Next, these are the accessories for my pack. It has my straps and my handle. It's just all these little accessories that help my pack do a lot of different things. And it has its own storage pouch. And I actually use them. I was surprised. I figured I was going to send a lot of it back, but I wanted to test out a couple things before I did. I ended up not sending any of it back. Totally useful on the road. So now over on this side, I have another EpiPen. I have my 2 inhalers. I have my monkey, which is sentimental and goes with me everywhere. I have my pins, so if I ever like get a job on the road where I have to get my hair up, I can put my hair in a bun. So I have, I think 4 of them, 4 or 5 of them around here somewhere. I have an olive oil lamp, which I take with me everywhere. Headphones, I need good headphones. I really, really need like noise canceling Bose headphones, but right now I'm just using those little plugs. I have a marker. You need a marker on the road so that you can write your sign and tell people where you're going. I have 2 locks, and then there's my other lock. And then I have a pair of chopsticks, a metal straw, and a spoon. That's it. I use the chopsticks instead of a fork. I have a moist towelette that I keep in my pocket. And then these are the tops off of Q-tips, which I use with the olive oil lamp. So here we have 2 more samples. I'm going to do videos on these samples, so I just have them in my pocket. Short story, I hate them. Cure Wise Lip Tint in Captivate. It doesn't show up on dark skin, and it's really glittery. And then the foundation, I'm going to do a review on this. I should probably do it now, because now I'm at probably the right shade. Now I'm too dark for it, so now I have to wait to do the review until I lighten up. So we're almost done. Over here is my stationery bag. So in here I have refills for the pen, for my ballpoint pen, which I use for editing. I have a cloth to clean my screen. I have a couple refill cartridges for my fountain pen, and I've got a bottle of fountain pen ink. So there's that. I have a Tom Bin packing cube shoulder bag. I've been just keeping this in the bottom of my bag, but I use it as a purse. If I want to go somewhere and I want to take my notebook with me, then my notebook doesn't fit my pockets. So then I just use this, and it looks cute. It has the strap in the pocket. I just store the strap in the pocket, and that way I always know where the strap is, because I lose stuff. So we are down to the last 2 items that I have with me. I have a lot more stuff than I thought. No wonder it's all so heavy. So let me come back after I open this up. So I have earplugs. I have my medicine. I have Natural Calm. It helps you sleep if you're anxious, but also I get foot cramps and leg cramps, and so if I get a cramp, I just take some Natural Calm and it just knocks it right out. I don't use it very often, but I have to have it on me. I have another set of inhalers. I like to keep backups. Asthma is no joke. I have a second foundation from Vapour that I just keep as a backup. I don't know why, but I have it. So I just left it in there. I'm going to use it, so I'm not going to throw it away or give it away, because I will actually use it. I have my glasses for when I'm swimming. I have my headlamp. I have my keys, and on my keys I have my one USB drive, and I have a little multi-tool with a set of pliers. I have vitamin D. I have the performance straps for my shoes, which keeps them on if I'm doing like hiking in my sandals. I have an emergency lighter. I have replacement things for my eyeglass curler. And then I have all my change, because when I am someplace, I just leave it and then I just toss stuff in the bottom there. Okay, we're almost done. So this is my repair kit. I keep it all in this little baggie. So first thing I have is my sewing kit. I had a nice sewing kit, but it was just too big and heavy. So I took a little itsy bitsy baggie, and in it I've got a couple safety pins. I have buttons, needles, and then for the thread, I used the ties for bread, and I just wrapped the thread, tuck a needle in each one, and it works perfectly. I did poke a hole in the bottom of the baggie, so I duct taped the bottom, because duct tape fixes everything. Next thing I have is guy lines. So far I've only set my tent up in really nice areas where I didn't need all the guy lines, and so I just keep the spare guy lines in there. There's extras, and there's guy lines for the extra tie outs. I have duct tape. One thing I had in here that I got rid of was zipper lubricant. All my zippers seem to work really good, and if I need zipper lubricant, I can just borrow some from somebody or get some wax from a store, or use oil or something. This is a patch for my tent. Another patch for my tent. This patch, I got it for a hole I got in my sleeping bag, and I also used it on the little itsy bitsy hole that I got in my my toiletry bag from my razor. It is called Tenacious Tape Gear Aid. It's excellent. I have the repair materials for my computer. I have Windows new install and a recovery disk. Then I have the repair kit for my Thermarest sleeping bag case. I have a repair patch for my tent. It's a little piece of Cuban fiber. I have the key to my little itsy bitsy storage facility that has literally 3 things. And then a tiny little screwdriver. This is for sunglasses or for eyeglasses, but it's also the right size to take the bottom off my computer. And so that was it. That is pretty much everything I need to live my life, you know. I have a few items at my sister's that are just stored. If I ever get a tiny house, that stuff I'll live with. I have a couple items in storage in New Orleans that I don't even really need. And the plan is to take the stuff from my sister's, bring it down to New Orleans, go through all of it. I'll probably get rid of at least half. I'll probably end up with 3 boxes that I will keep for someday. If I ever retire into a tiny house or something, then I'll have my sentimental items. But this is what I need to live my life every day and to be happy and comfortable. This is it. And I'm perfectly happy with it. On that note, ciao.